Hi there guys, we're going to be looking at a few errors, common errors that people make in their speech and in their writing. Now there are a large number of these errors that we will look at in the senior grades, grade 11 and 12, but right now grade 8 and 9 we're just going to be looking at a few really common ones, and there are going to be 5 that we're going to be looking at now. Okay, so the first one is lack of concord or lack of agreement between words, essentially between the subject and the verb. So if a subject is singular, it represents one entity, then the verb must be singular as well. If it's plural, then the verb must be plural. So let's look at the example. The boys is not paying attention. Now the boys is more than one boy, okay, so that's plural, but then is a singular verb. And just in case I'm not sure if it's singular, let's make it the boy. Let's make it singular. The boy is not paying attention. That makes sense. Okay, so therefore is must be singular because the boy is singular. So the boys, now it's plural, is not going to work. You're not going to say the boys is, you're going to say the boys are. So are is a plural verb. The second example, the price of the books are expensive. One price, singular, but then are, like we've discovered over here, is plural, so that's not going to work. The price of the books is expensive. Okay, now there are a number of words that are always singular, always take a singular verb, like everybody, nobody, everyone, no one, etc. But we're not going to be looking at that now. We'll look at that in the later grades. Now we're just getting a basic idea of what concord is all about. Okay, so if we get a lack of concord, it means that there's a lack of agreement between the subject and the verb, and either the subject is wrong or the verb is wrong. Most of the time the verb is wrong, but just check. Okay, so let's take the first example. My brother and 2 friends was waiting for a lift to the match. My brother and 2 friends, so that's 3 people, so that's plural. Was waiting, no, not going to work. So let's take my brother and 2 friends and let's make it they. They was waiting for a lift. That's not going to work. They were waiting for a lift. So were is going to be the correct verb here, or the correct auxiliary verb. Okay, let's move on to the second error, is ambiguity, and be meaning both. So like you get an amphibian, it goes on land and water. Okay, so both means that there's a sentence that contains more than one interpretation or meaning, depends which way you look at it. Okay, and you obviously want to avoid ambiguity. So the first example, the several judges sat on the case for several days. Okay, so the one meaning is that the judges dealt with the lawsuit or whatever case for a number of days, or several judges physically sat on a suitcase for several days at a time. Okay, the teacher gave her cat food. Did the teacher give her own cat food to eat, or did the teacher give her cat food? Like, did the teacher give the girl cat food? Okay, so those are the 2 meanings here. Alright, the third error, tautology. Tautology is a little bit like redundancy in that it's unnecessary repetition. So I can take out a word or possibly a phrase and the sentence will still mean the same thing. No meaning will be lost. Okay, so let's take number 1. One of the most popular school sports that boys enjoy is water polo. One of the most popular school sports is water polo. Like, the fact that it's popular means essentially that they enjoy it. So I don't actually have to say enjoy. Number 2, our memorable trip to Disney World was unforgettable. Okay, if it was unforgettable, you're never going to forget it. It kind of means the same thing as memorable. Like, memorable means you're not going to ever forget it. So I can get rid of memorable and I can just say our trip to Disney World was unforgettable, and the meaning of the sentence that I'm trying to convey is the same. Okay, fourth error, cliches. Cliches are things that you want to avoid, particularly in your creative writing, because they're not very creative. A cliche is an expression that everybody almost knows or understands, to the point that it has lost its effect. It's not powerful anymore because, like I say, it's not creative anymore. It's like you can think of something better to say than that. So let's take the first one. Laughter is the best medicine. Okay, it's a cliche. Everybody like knows that. Okay, or a lot of people. And then this means that laughter helps you feel better. Okay, maybe when you're sick or ill. Okay, laughter is the best medicine. Alright, so there are a number of incomplete cliches there that we want you to fill in. And then the fifth one is malapropism. Now, a malapropism, think of a malapropism as a word that exists. Okay, it is an actual word, but in the context of the sentence, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like you've used the wrong word. So the word that you're looking for sounds similar to the word that you've used, but the word that you've used is like completely in the wrong context. Okay, so let's take the example. The weather report stated that there will be an 80% chance of participation, but it's supposed to be an 80% chance of precipitation, like rain. Okay, so participation is an actual word, so it's not a spelling error, but it's just the wrong word in this case. So let's take the next example, the first one of exercise 5. The flood damage was so bad they had to evaporate the city. Evaporate is the wrong word there, because you're not evaporating the city, you're evacuating the city. Okay, so that's it, guys. Those are the 5 common errors that we're going to be looking at this stage. Couple of exercises on each of them. Good luck.